at is a 5-star hotel here in Hong Kong called Rosewood, popular for all the social media content creators because of how luxurious it really is from the outside and the inside. So I'm going to annoy the hell out of them until they offer me something like a staycation, just like those annoying entitled influencers you see online demanding for special treatment. Just kidding, I've just never really been on a luxurious staycation before. There is but one tiny problem to this endeavor though. I am a landscape photographer who primarily shoots landscapes and not hotels, so a staycation might be a bit of a stretch. And also, I don't have a nice spot to show off on social media, so I do need to come up with some form of plan. As a landscape photographer, I thought my best bet in going about and making this collaboration happen is to take a nice cityscape photo of the exteriors of the building, because they'll definitely notice a composition by an above average photographer, right? Yeah, it's harder than it looks. So time for plan B. This is probably going to be the dumbest video that I'm going to be making on this channel for a while, but it's going to be exciting. I figured that Rosewood probably gets tagged by so many influencers on their photos of it. So to stand out, I figured, why not get a moon alignment shot, because that's how I do things. And tonight is actually the third time that I'm aiming for a moon alignment shot with Rosewood as the subject. So for the first shot, it's just really a random shot around the city, no planning at all, and I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. To be honest, I'm not really that satisfied with the shot, and as expected, Rosewood completely ignored the post. And in the second shot, a lot more epic, I actually took the full moon rising behind Rosewood as my subject. And I think it did really well on social media, and Rosewood actually reacted to the post, although they didn't reply so much. But I think they're slowly getting warmer to the idea. And tonight, the third night, why am I still doing this? Well, basically, sunk cost fallacy. I'm already too deep into this project and I just gotta push through. But I think, to be honest, setting myself up for many projects like these is actually what gets me more excited into photography these days. It just gives me a lot more ideas of what to photograph rather than just aimlessly wandering around trying to take photos. But tonight, beautiful city skyline. I think Hong Kong has one of the best skylines in the whole world. I might be a bit biased because I live here, but just look at that wonderful view. I think there's too much cloud for comfort right now, but I see there's like an open gap underneath. So if the clearing persists, then I can still take the moon photo later. So I plan to set up my shot and then walk you through the whole process of how I planned this and what gear I'm currently using. Okay, so on to how I came about this plan. So in my last video where I talked about how to perfect your camera exposure, I was already here on location into Devil's Peak, and I found that Rosewood is going to be prominent from this viewing spot with not a lot of background clutter, and I thought maybe the moon alignment can work over here. So I hurriedly opened up my app called Photo Pills, highly crucial in my planning process, so recommend for you to get it if you're into like moon alignment, sun alignment, or even the Milky Way photos. Very, very useful app. So go get it, and you can go to their planner function and then click find and then select the moon at azimuth and elevation and click on augmented reality so that you can have like a live view of what you will be seeing. Choose the visual calibration pane to adjust and correct any misalignments in the moon route so that you can have like an accurate representation of the moon route. And then once you do that, you can click on where you want the moon will be in the horizon, click find, and it will give you a list of all the date ranges that the moon alignment will work on a particular day, provided the date range that you have selected. So for me, it's going to work out July 23. That's the closest date that I can get, and here I am. Okay, so it's about time for the moon alignment now, but currently the moon is still covered by the clouds, but as it sets lower in the horizon, maybe there's going to be a clearing and then we'll see the shots. So quick tips when you're already on location. So obviously you need a telephoto. I'm currently using my Sony 100-400 G Master so I can zoom in far into the distance. And then the second tip is, once you've already identified your subject, find a spot where you can be positioned away from your subject because you want to maximize the zoom of your telephoto. And as you zoom in towards the distance, your subject and the moon will scale up with it, giving that pleasing compression effect and a sense of scale in your photo. And the third tip is, because you are zoomed in so far into the distance, any minor shake in your camera will actually lead to motion blur. So I highly suggest for you to use a shutter remote cable or put at least a 5-second delay timer so that when you press the shutter button, your camera will have some time to stabilize and your photos will be crisp. So those are the quick tips, and then let's wait for the shot. Hopefully we take it. I completely butchered the shot, and I'm not sure the reason why, but it's completely out of focus. And because I was taking a time lapse, everything that's within that 3-minute window of visibility of the moon it's completely unusable. Quite frustrating, to be honest. So tonight I plan to have a revenge session, and because it's just been a day, I think there's going to be some alignment opportunities quite close to the location where I was shooting at yesterday. So let's see if I can find a spot. So I'm now going to the shooting spot that I found on Google, but I do have one problem. I've never been to this area and I've never scouted this place before, and it's actually no view. It's completely blocked by a construction site. So the conditions today look a lot more promising than yesterday. The sky is a lot clearer. I can see the moon over there, and the city skyline view is just behind this wall. So I'm trying to find whether there's going to be an opening or entrance where I can go inside or peep through it, just for a little bit. Okay, so this is completely random. I found this bus stop with an elevated platform where I can peep through what's behind the wall, and not the most perfect alignment, but I can see the city skyline, and for a wider field of view, I think it works well for like a time lapse of the moon setting behind the rosewood. And maybe later, once the moon is already a lot lower in the horizon, I can try to find another spot where the alignment will work much better. Talk about luck. I found an opening in the gate, and now I have an unobstructed view of the city skyline, and then the moon is just over there. The alignment is about to happen, but I don't want to stay here for longer because people might think I have questionable intentions of being here. But yeah, wow, just extremely satisfied today. Yes! So I think I nailed the shot. The focus is just right, and I was able to take a time-lapse, amazing moon alignment shot. They'll definitely notice and collaborate with me now, right? Like and subscribe if you want to see me annoy another hotel. Bye!